Excellent. Thanks very much for staying for the lightning talks. I'll try and make sure I make it through so we can all get to lunch. Is everyone having a good day so far? Great, excellent. Is anyone else really excited by this captioning technology by Whitecoat? It's like fantastic, yeah? It's really great. It's supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Sorry, okay. Wow, there we are. Okay. So, yeah, my name's Stephen Thomas. I'm going to talk to you today about kind of transparency and why I feel it's important in every aspect of project management. Once I can move the slides on. Thanks. So specifically, I'm going to talk about why I feel we should be more transparent with clients, why we should be more transparent with teams, and then the challenge of actually being transparent with oneself. So transparency is important to me, as I think Sam was hinting at. Transparent feedback is the only way that I actually know if I make a difference, if people are honest with me, if I'm actually doing something that's worthwhile. And I've also found that transparency takes the relationships that I have with clients and teams beyond the sort of day-to-day business as usual into something of far greater value, even into kind of friendships. But what I find interesting about transparency is that it's fundamental to all types of project management. Now, the basis of Scrum, if you look at it, is empiricism, and that has transparency as one of its fundamental pillars. But it isn't like transparency is an Agile thing. You'll see it referenced in PMI and Prince2, all the things. So whether it be a burn-down chart or a Gantt chart, we all need transparent project visibility on status. And whether it's a retrospective or a full-scale audit, we all need transparent reflection on how projects went. Has anyone inherited here a nightmare project? And I know someone has, but has anyone ever walked in and it's like, okay, this is what you've been dealt with? Now, it's really interesting, building on from the previous talk. To me, when it's happened, there's been some kind of key traits. So generally, the communication might be infrequent or arrhythmic. The client might not know the full status. The team aren't entirely sure of the vision. Or fundamentally, the business may know there are things in trouble, but they're not wanting to share it with the client just yet. A typical watermelon, you might want to say. And to me, to fix these things, along the same lines as fixing Sod's project, when I've encountered them, the solution has tended to revolve around transparency. And what we've done is we've kind of sort of stopped things and said, okay, here's where we are, here's the situation, these are all the things, and here's how we got there. And then we've worked with the client, and sometimes had to ask for more money, but essentially say, this is what we're going to do going forward to fix it. And these are the ways that we're going to ask you to keep checking on us and to make sure that we're showing you how we're improving on it going forwards. I mean, essentially, transparency fixes the problem, or can fix the problem. This is my real-life example of where I learned transparency could work for me. So 2 projects went pretty much the same way in terms of actual spend against budget. So as can happen, we started off lots of workshops, nobody knew what they were doing, lots of people kind of coming in, trying to get service set up. Developers telling me servers take a day to get set up. I still find they take 3 or 4 days, and so money is burning quite fast. Now, after a while, we get a handle on the project and we become a bit more efficient, and towards the end, actually, things are running really, really smoothly. But in essence, it's too late. We've kind of overspent too early on. So I had this with one project, and then about a year later, I had it with a same situation with a different project. Now, in one case, one project was a success and one was a failure. And why? Well, the reason was transparency. So in the first instance, while I was giving the client updates and information, I was filtering it through my optimism. I was thinking that I, somehow, super PM, could work with the team and motivate them, and we could turn that red line so it's almost going flat and do infinite work. I could bend time and space. Essentially, I was arrogant and an idiot. And in the second case, I tried to make myself more invisible as a PM. I tried to show the client, this is what I'm seeing, and if we carry on going this way, we're going to go over budget. Early on, I was giving bad news. And I was trying to show that the team were working as hard as possible. I was trying to, while applying some analysis, show that this is the rate we're working at, and all the work we're doing is valid. It's just we've underestimated the complexity. And in the second instance, because the client could see that we weren't being wasteful, and actually some of the things and the calls that she was asking for was impacting the project, she agreed to kind of raise the budget limit or put an additional kind of contingency budget. Now, in the first instance, as you can see, we left it kind of too late, and towards the end, we finished over budget. And essentially, the client didn't want to pay for it, and there was a big write-off, and we all walked away with our tails between our legs going, The second instance, we actually finished under the additional budget. And everyone was like, oh, great job, PM. You really got a good handle on that problem project. Let's go out for drinks. And I find that bizarre, because in essence, I totally screwed up both projects. But I walked away from one with hugs and drinks, and the other one was a kind of a lesson learned. And so transparency can make a big, big difference. And I think, to me, something that I'm kind of got a burning passion about and I want to do more of, I'm not doing enough of it, is about the fact of kind of transparent status and visibility. So, if you think about your bank, if you could only find out how much money you have in your account, maybe like once a week or once a month when your bank contacted you, that just wouldn't be feasible to live your life and to balance your budget. And yet for clients that have budgets far greater than my bank balance, sometimes they only get an update maybe once a week if you do a status update, maybe once a fortnight, maybe once a month when they get an invoice. And we have the tools, dashboards, all these kind of things to actually let clients see more of what we are seeing and give them the information and context that they can see the project without a filter. And I think I could talk more about kind of AI and how things are potentially going to change for PMs, but that is another talk. But something that I think we could all work on and encourage each other to do more in terms of building better tools for clients to see project overviews. Being transparent with teams, I think, is kind of crucial because, again, you can motivate people with lies and bullshit for a while, but they will eventually find you out. And so I've tried to adopt rituals of transparency. Generally, on the longer projects, I think being transparent about kind of who you are and emotions can have a big impact. So there's the classic Nico exercise where every day you put a smiley face and you kind of measure the team's mood over a sprint. But I've also found sometimes in stand-ups just interjecting something where you have an emotional check-in. So rather than just saying, yesterday I fixed 50 bugs, you ask them for 1 or 2 words of how you're feeling that day. So I'm tired. Yesterday I fixed 500 bugs. Today I'm going to fix 500 more. I'm going to be the dev that fixed 1,000 bugs. I was born in Scotland. Because if you think about it, context and information is everything. So if someone's not listening to you and they're being disruptive, they might just be an asshole. But if someone's not listening to you and they're being awkward, and you know that their mum went into hospital last night and they're waiting for a call from their dad, then that's a totally different situation. And why the hell are they at work? And they should be going home. So if you know people are tired and demotivated, you can actually do something about it. But if you work in a culture where things are obscure and people don't share that, you're just going to keep firing people against the wall and have that kind of asshole tax of people essentially leaving. And I do think, I'm really passionate, I do think as PMs, we have a very powerful role in that if you can change the culture in your project team, and I've seen this, it will radiate out. If people see you playing and having fun and seeing people talking about things in that project, other people notice, and that can change company cultures from the inside for the better. Just about yourself, I mean, it's a true adage, but knowing yourself to improve yourself is very important. Unless you know about who you are as a person, you can't really change. And I think that's a hard lesson and something I'm still learning. And something I've come to realize is that there is no great PM. I can be a good PM for a certain type of project and a certain type of client. It works well with me. But on a completely different project, I might be a complete failure compared to someone else that's maybe more detail focused or something. So one thing does anyone here work, most people work in agency or freelance? Does anyone not keep timesheets? Okay. So not most people in the room keep timesheets. If you don't, it's quite an interesting thing to keep a timesheet. And what I find fascinating is timesheets are this mass of data that is really, really interesting, and we generally use it just for billing. But I've done a timesheet audit before where I've gone through and assessed how did I feel about each task, looking at the scenario. Did it make me feel stressed? Did it make me feel happy? And you can kind of use that data and look at it over a week or over a month and say, okay, these are the types of tasks that I really enjoy. This is the kind of PM that I am. These are the environments that I thrive on. These are the clients that I like to work with. And within that, then you can be more objective about when you're taking on projects, working out the ways you want to run them and the way that we want to do things. Does anyone know about disk profiling as well? Okay, so I mean, it's basically, I won't go into too much of it, but essentially it divides people into task-orientated people and people-orientated people, and then whether they're kind of outgoing or more reserved. So generally, like a red person is a task-orientated, outgoing person. And they have various different things. You can do these online, or you can get people to kind of come in and do an assessment with you. Now, DISC is just one thing. There are lots of these things out there. One thing I really like about what Valtech does is they do this insights one, which is pretty much the same. But then they make people put a Lego brick of their dominant traits on their desk. So everyone, so if you were a green, which is more people-orientated, reserved, you know, I can see on someone's desk that that's the kind of person that they are. And I think it's led to some really fascinating conversations. And I think you could do this in any company at a more basic level. You could have introverts or extroverts just talking about, this is the kind of person that I am. And so when you're dealing with me, this is the kind of things that I might respond well to. And I've heard conversations where people are like, this is just the red in me talking, but we do need to move on. And that ability to be open with yourself about, this is the kind of person I am, and let others see, can lead to far better kind of project management and far better team cohesion. So anyway, we all need to eat, so I'll leave you with one final reflection about transparency. And I think it's, you know, more and more what we do as PMs is taking complex systems and breaking them down into simpler elements so that we can do more with them and learn to improve them. I mean, if you think about user story mapping, customer journey mapping, value stream analysis, even the MVP is about taking a cloud of fuzzy wants and needs and trying to drill them down to a clear and coherent core of needs. And I think the best products and projects that I've worked on have had transparency at their heart. So you've had a set of really, really focused ideas for that project or that website, and it's going to do a few things really, really well. And then you have a team that is small enough relative to the complexity of the project so that you can see what's happening, so you can adjust things, you can bring people in. In essence, transparency, for me, works and makes projects better. We all need to eat, so I'm going to leave it there. Thanks very much.